Hello, how you guys doing today? Well, my glasses are missing a little plastic thing right there, so it's kind of pokey. But this is my video glasses. All the other ones make me look a little funny, like my grandma. But not looking like my grandma is bad. But anyways, I just have to want to give some advice. I was, this is the eve tonight. I have another class, another art class. Just a week ago that I had the drunken elderlies from hell show up, and I'm supposed to get like 8 of them today. You know, intermixed with my regular 24 or so people. So hope the best. But the last thing I was talking about was about feeding from the lower, and I don't watch a lot of TV, and I've only kind of like looking out the corner of my eye, have been catching like it seems like everybody's really mad around the world, you know. Uh, this anger and upset and stuff, I'm kind of on the outside of it because I'm not really watching it, and this is one of the things I got into an argument with, or some kind of like a little argument with my friends. I didn't see a video of Trump assaulting or making fun of a retarded person, but I have seen him mistreat everyone. It's all. So I'm not going to single him out because he did it to this person or this thing or that. I mean, what the hell? They're all bad. But because I didn't see it, I had this I didn't care type thing. Well, fuck you. You should care. Well, I do, but I worked with the retarded agency in Key West for a good number of years, 7 years. That was when they were using the word retarded, and it's only cleaned up nowadays. But anyways, this whole idea is about this bad behavior and separating from each other, and you know, uh, I told a story about being in a taxi, and it just seemed like if I didn't follow his viewpoint, he was going to get mad at me and maybe push me out of the cab, or talk bad about me because I didn't have his view on things. And I wonder how we've made it this far, you know, through the many different people that have run our country and stuff. And I was, I said, you guys, listen. In the midst of all these little fights that you're having over personality differences with the English too, it's our country. It's our country itself that's out there spraying freezing cold water on top of a mess of Indians, you know, over this damn pipeline. And they're just trying to save that dirt poor land that they just happen to be burying all their ancestors on. What was left over and given to this barren piece of shit wasteland. Our government, the mentality of the government that's already under rule of some other president. This is what this is the mentality of our government, not these personalities. It shows their personality. And I more or less am just laughing from the outside that I hear someone maybe saying that he doesn't like fags and he doesn't like this and he doesn't like this and he doesn't like that. Uh, Truth. You get someone who's telling you the truth and you're freaking out, and that's just a shame. That's a shame because all these other people, they wait to, what do you need? And they'll say whatever they will, whatever you want them to be. Well, it's like some kind of dough that you could turn into anything you want. And here's someone that's just come right out and told you, I don't like this and I don't like this and I don't like that. And so, you'd rather be lied to. You would rather be, and this is the truth. That's the truth, is that you would rather be lied to and that you could guess about all of these other things that make the personality of this human being, you know. But I wanted you to think about our government. The personality of it continues on. It's what we fight against, you know, and we get our heads bashed in and stuff like that, you know. That's what happens when we fight against them, you know. And and to say that, he's an outsider, I think that they're all, in that same little Satan, group of people that work the outside of enlightenment, which is, it's not necessarily an evil thing, it can be whatever you want it to be, but, it's certainly not an inward enlightening, it cancels that out, but you learn just as much, but it's a materialistic conquest, and only sociopaths can do this job up there, so that's why, everyone's fighting over who's meanest of them all. But, to tell you the truth, another truth is that, this is all the light that we're given at this time in the stage of the game, which could go on, this cusp between Pisces and Aquarius could take a long time. There's 26,000 years within the sign itself, and we are just coming into the cusp of it. And I'm telling you, the reason why everything is so bad is because it's like the darkest before the dawn. And that might be what I call it, is that, it's really, we're in that winter of time, and things are supposed to change in the new world. And it's not the new world order type of thing. That's been going on for a long time. Religion is a part of it. Religion is a byproduct of this new world order, because you're seeking God outside of yourself, and it's programmed to take God away from you. And that's a new world, because all the world before, and all the world outside of white people's idea of religion connects you to God, connects you right to Him, and there's that light that's being drawn into you and then out into the world that's being cut off, where you can't have the light. You can't afford to have it. You can't. It's too dangerous for you, and you are not worthy of it, and you just can't. God is in the hands of other people, not you. And, and that's totally against all the stuff. If you read the Bible correctly, you'll find that it's totally against it. But the main people who follow Jesus are the main culprits of its demise, of its teachings. Why people are so separated and hate each other, and this terrible assault against female energy and females in general, because of the taking things so literally. And looking at the women that trick people in the Bible as being bad. Taking any of the ideas that the woman is the trickster in these things, it's just a shame. It's just a shame to idiots, the programmed dumbness of society. In order to get it to pull forward, you have to really think backwards, and that's really kind of, the opposite of what this would do if you were to learn to cut off from this world and not be of this world, because then you won't be caught in this linear thinking, and this linear thinking is the opposite. You're getting dumber. You're not getting any smarter, regardless of how your intelligence takes you. You think your electronics is taking you up into higher worlds and stuff like that. No, not really. I would bear to argue that sometime when the lights go out, say, And let's see, bad behavior, the darkest before the dawn is what I'm trying to get at, is that things, when they try to disconnect, like in the stories, it's as if, to just you yourself, to just disconnect from your thoughts of your mind. They're just banking, knocking at the door, and they won't let you go because your mind doesn't want to go, but you trick it and betray it. So, you look at this on the bigger scale, on the outside of things, that without having any of this extra light showing up in our world, And those people that are controlling the pine cone control the world. So if you were to take it individually, the person that can go inside, find the key by going inside and unlocking that door, he himself is now ruler over his kingdom, over him, over yourself. You become the boss of your world. So you'll notice that some of these priests and stuff like that of the Catholic Church, and originally their religion has a pine cone on the top. They're controlling the pine cone. They're in charge of Earth. And you can't get any simpler than that, But they don't want you to go in and find it yourself, and disconnect from all this, because then it doesn't hurt you no more. You just sit around like me and say, oh my God, this is the new heaven and the new earth, because, I'm like looking at things like, wow, this is crazy shit, and it's like, it's not like I'm scared or anything anymore. It's like, wow, some crazy stuff. We have this Mandela Effect, which doesn't seem to affect some people, but it's a real thing. But it's been my theory and my push for many times that it's this beta conscious that is changing and manipulating. It's not screwing up our minds. Our minds actually are finding itself in a higher frequency, and they're not being tapped. That's why we're able to remember things differently in a lot of ways. And in a group conscious, we find, well, where did it go? What happened to it? It had to have gone somewhere, or we have gone someplace new, So in that concept, the idea that where we've done is I feel like we have slipped down into something frequency-wise, meaning that, because all of these changes are the way I speak, kind of, not that that means bad or not, but I misspell. I use phonetic spelling and shortcuts. But I do recognize what's wrong, and I recognize low energy things. And so all of these changes in our world that are reflective of this Mandela Effect has been negative, have been low, have been almost retarded, as if some monkey is in charge, some very sophomoric entity is in charge, changing things. I'm talking even the Bible, all from A to Z. All of these are belittling or taking away what was once great and making it lesser, making it even lesser, if that's possible. And that's where darkest before the dawn, because that's where we're at. We've got people that are ruling us that we're fighting over with our airplane. Things that are splitting the nations and each other, and about to cause, perhaps, speaking, civil war over pieces of shit. There isn't anything redeemable about either one of these sides winning or anything, but we're willing to tear the whole world up and tipping on it, some kind of tipping point over crap. Okay, that's a good sign right there. That truth doesn't matter anymore, talk about fake news. Come on. The whole damn thing behind our society is fake. Even the group of people that are celebrities and stuff like that, Hollywood, and stuff like that. This is all fake. It's what we push out amongst the world. Can't help it if the government takes over a situation like that and puts fake shit out, so you curb and think things their way. It's just a shame. Just a shame. Bad behavior, And this is all these people that are in the know-how. Like, I know that the Pope would never sit down and look for this kingdom inside of him. He just wouldn't. All right? He just can't. He can't. All right? Mother Teresa, she probably did it a couple of times. I bet she got in trouble for it too, She went out and probably tried to do even better, after that. But the fact that she was signed on to religion, she was twice the child of hell. Just, too bad. Too bad. That's just how it is, no matter how beautiful she is. Where, whatever, she would be like a plague, visiting all these little places and giving them hope. And by the time all the people associated with her and the church and their little affiliates had finished with that little country or that little village, there would be nothing left of them. And it's just a shame. And of course, we're going to call that democracy. All right? And we want to bring democracy to the world. So I would like everyone really think about that one. But it's just bad behavior. You have to look at it as it's part of the times, because it's just that last bit of hell. And all these things are associated with hell. The radio and the TV and all this, all the money and everything. And they're just mad as hell. Just mad. But they did it on purpose, so don't be so scared. They just ain't going to go without a fight. And so it's better that we just keep our own. These are these wars and stuff that are talk about, and if you can build your house on stone, you will be able to weather what comes at you. It doesn't mean you're not going to take a hit or something like that, It just means that, when it does happen, it's not going to take you out. So, and that stone is the pineal gland of the mind. Learn about that. Build your house on that stone. That's all it's about. You needn't be someone that's so perfect and petite and all of this, and godlike in order to be godlike. I've got kind of a filthy mouth, and I got a mind to match and stuff like that. But, I've always been working on it. But it doesn't take a saint to be a saint, to bring the light on and stuff like that. You don't have to, piss white water, or I don't know. There's nothing that stops you other than yourself. You can be all that and all of that and all that, but it's like that's really an outwardly thing, and it's really an inside thing, and it sets you free, and if me being free is, I better listen to that person, I better listen to what that one said, and I better do what he says, and I better been recommended by that one. Well, that's not being free, And so when someone has an idea of how I should act and what I should do and stuff, I say, I've already taken it up with my maker, and he says I'm just fine, I reckon. Or it would have been first things gone, But they ain't gone. They ain't gone. So don't you let nobody, you don't act like this and you don't act like that. Fuck them, It's all about the light in you. What it is. Best to you.